Good morning, quilters. Hi, I'm Tiffany. Welcome to my quilting life. And by quilting, I mean today we're going to work on the long arm, but first I'm going to open mail. And second, we're going to get a Thumpy in the view. Say hi, Thumper. He's just like pacing. He likes to lay at my feet when I long arm quilt. So yeah, he's just like, come on, get working, lady, get working. He's definitely in my way, though. I'll go to move, like I'm doing something, and I'll go to move, and I trip over the cat every time. It's kind of funny. Anyways, we're just going to give it a second for people to find today's video, because, you know, gotta have a second to find today's video. Until then, I guess I can just talk about what kind of long arm I have. So if you're new to my channel and you didn't know, I use a King Quilter 2 Elite Special Edition machine. Special edition for me just means that I have a bigger screen for all of my functions, like, you know, precision, manual mode. I can turn my lights off and on, have settings as like a stitch counter and blah, blah, blah. That's just what that means. It's just a 18-inch machine. I have it on a 12-foot frame, but my comfortable quilting space is about, well, I tell everyone 120 inches, but I can comfortably put like 125, 130, but who makes 130-inch quilts? Nobody. 120. So anyway, that's what I have. It's not computerized, all hand-guided free motion quilting. And lately, because I'm trying to get myself back in the custom quilting groove, I'm just going to custom quilt a lot of my quilt tops that I have, just because I need the practice. And I still suck at stitching a ditch, and I still suck at matching this up, and I still suck at finding my way around. I need to practice more because I don't practice enough. So, all right, let's see who's all here. I did not bring glasses out here to do any of this either. Tina, Kathy, Carolyn, Muriel, Lori, Becky, Robin, Susie, Valerie, Joyce, Daphne, Katie, Mary, Cheryl, Sheila, Lois, and look at that, many more. All right, guys, so we're going to start with the mail opening. It's just one box, so I'm going to do it literally right here. Just stick that there because I could see the screen that far away. Ugh, Scott pre-opened it, ripped it open for me. So this is the box. It's just one of those fits ships type deals or priority. I don't even know the difference. So I'm just going to bend down and pull out of it, show you, and maybe I should come a little bit closer. Is there a note? No note right on the top, but there is, look at this, thank you cards. So I send out thank you cards with all mail and everything. So there's thank you cards, lots of different thank you cards with their matching envelopes. So that's awesome. Just stick these back in here, and I'm going to make a pile on the floor, and Scott can clean it up while I'm quilting. We got some more thank you cards, it looks like. Oh, these are cute. And the card says, I generally avoid temptation unless I can't resist it, and it's a picture of dresses. That's adorable. Oh, then there's other ones too. The golden opportunity you are seeking is in yourself. There's a bunch of little cards in here. Life is what happens when you're making other plans. Exactly. So here's a whole stack of cards. Now if I can get it back in the
I'll do that.
envelope. He can do that stuff for me. Oh, looks like there's more. Wow, I've got thank you cards now to last me a lifetime. Well, not really a lifetime because I send out tons. Oh, that one's adorable. So there's a whole stack. Oh, there's a kitty on this one that says just a note.
Do you like ruler work?
I do. I'm okay with ruler work. There's one problem. There's more cards, by the way. So it's stationery. Oh, I haven't seen these since the 80s. These fold cards. You literally fold it like this and seal it and send it like a postcard. Man, I haven't seen those since I was a kid. All right. What did you say, Neil?
Do you like ruler?
Oh yeah, I'm okay with ruler work, but my arthritic hands don't like it, so I wear arthritis gloves while I quilt, and they have grippies on them, so that it helps me grip my hand onto the ruler. Because not only do I shake from MS, but I have cramping from arthritis, so it kind of the double thing makes rulers a little bit hard, but it doesn't bother me. I spin them around like crazy. Oh, this is nicely stacked. I am not going to unpack this. Here it looks like 1.5-inch squares. It's a whole entire, look at how thick that stack is.
Holy cow.
It's a little baggy, 9-patch style. I'm not pulling them out because that would be just wrong.
It'd be a mess everywhere.
Yeah, so there's 1.5 inch. Ooh, yo-yos. Somebody started some yo-yos.
What is that for?
So you sew them onto, I don't know how they completely go. I've seen a couple yo-yo quilts, but last time I had yo-yos, I made a quilt that was called Icy Spots, and I just sewed the yo-yos directly onto the quilt. So that's what I'll probably do with these, just sew them directly onto something.
Yeah, I don't know what it's actually for.
All right, here's half triangles to put in my half triangle stash. So there's lots of those there. All right, let's pull. We've got, ooh, this is pretty. The Painted Desert Hoffman Fabrics. It's not quite a fat quarter. That's pretty. I like it because it's purple. And that greenish color in it. Ooh, purple and flowers. This one is Something Old Friends by Sandy Jervis for Moda Fabrics. This one's a half yard, a little bit more than a half yard. That's pretty. I like that. Who needs a dozen roses when you can make a quilt with flowers and it lasts forever? Ooh, look at this one. What is this one by? Oh, this one doesn't have a writing on the selvage. Oh, yes, it does. High Fashion in Full Bloom RJR Fashion Fabrics. For the quilters, back quilters. That's soft too. Feel that. It's like super soft. Ooh, this
like
one's
satin.
cute.
Feels like satin. It doesn't feel like cotton. Is this cotton?
Yeah.
It is?
$240. Yeah. It's just really soft. $240. Presence of the Line by Maywood Studio. This one's pretty. It's like a pinkish, darker pink with some green in it. Looks to be a little, like 3/4 of a yard there. Ooh, look at this one. It's leaves, but not in regular leaf color. There's about 1.5 yards here. There's quite a bit. Yeah, that's quite a bit here. Shade of Serenity, inspired by the photography of Valerie Wells for quilters. That's cute. Ooh, look at this pink one. This one reminds me of Grandma's curtains, but it's still cute. Yeah, but they would have been brown. Grandma's curtains would have been brown.
Yep.
This is pink. Something Millennium, Jenny Beyer, RJR. Ooh, I've had this before, but a different colorway.
Yeah, we just used it in your scrap quilt.
Yeah.
The other one was more brown and white.
Something, General Fabrics Company. Doesn't say anything else. Ooh, purple paisleys. I like purple and I like paisley. Something Manor, because that part's chopped off. Canterbury Manor. Had to look at a different spot. Hoffman International Fabrics. So that's pretty. All right. So they stopped giving you guys the top of my head. I'm just going to pull the rest of the box now onto my lap.
Oh, look, there's a card.
There's a card that I just threw.
You threw the box at the cat, too.
I didn't throw it at the cat,
Yes, you did.
technically. All right, here is a piece of scrap with numbers on it.
It's the matrix.
Oh, the matrix.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
holding
yeah.
it sideways.
Yep.
Goes up and down.
Yep, it's the matrix. I would tell you the designer, but there's not enough on this scrap to see what it is.
It's in the matrix.
We got another scrap piece. VIP print. All right, here's the card. Oops, let me just hold it like this.
Pretty dear.
Where did this come from? What state?
California.
I'm going to use some of my stash reductions. My husband says I'll have to live to 150 to use up the stash that I have. Since I'm in my late 70s, I felt it's time for me to start downsizing. Thank you for your inspiration quilting videos. That keeps me going. Between my, I don't know what that word is, and disability. What is that word? I can't read handwriting sometimes.
Infusions.
Between my infusions, disability, good and bad days, it's your videos that nudge me on. Like you, I never give up. May have many more good days than bad, happiness than sadness, and friends than not friends. Aw, that's sweet. All right, here's purple, just a scrap. I've had this one before. The exact same color as well. I've also had this one before, exact same color. So those are just scraps. Then there's some scrap, probably 10-inch squares in this little bag. Yeah. Just little scrap pieces in here. Oh, looks like there's more colors. They're just hard to get to. No, I don't want to pull them all out. But there's some scraps in there. Ooh, look at this one. This is pretty. I wonder if there's a salvage on this one. Prisms by Hoffman International. It doesn't look like no prisms.
No, it's flowers.
It's flowers, but they're beautiful. Beautiful flower scrap. Ooh, this one's cool. What could it just be like blanket stitches? That's kind of cool.
It's a scrap of scrap.
Yep. Astro Craft Division of Tiffany Fabrics. This has my name on it.
Yeah.
Ooh, cutesy hearts. Oh, yes, it does. No salvage writing on the hearts, but there's some green hearts too. And then there's also red and green hearts. So the three of these can go together.
Yep.
Maybe this will have something on it.
Oh, it's not legible.
It's also Tiffany Fabrics, so that goes with it too. Astro Craft of Tiffany Fabrics by Jill Keamy. Bears does something designs? I don't know, but it goes with the other one. Marble Mat by Moda Fabrics. This is pretty. I like that. This one is just pink. It doesn't have nothing on it, but it's a shade of pink that you can't tell on camera. Here's a scrap of this. That's cute with the paisleys on red with green. Not really. This one's pretty. Those flowers, almost like if you look at them from far away, kind of shaped like a butterfly. See? The little shapes. We have a black with white flowers. Fabric Traditions, 2006. You're never going to find that. And then, oh, this is so cute. Hearts with butterflies and flowers and Timeless Treasures, 2001. You're not going to find that one either.
No one.
Some of these you won't find anymore. But there it is. That's the mail. So you know who you are. Thank you so very, very much. Those are some beautiful fabrics. So thank you for downsizing. All right, guys. So we're going to, I'm going to first keep the camera off the mount. And then I guess once I get going more, I'll put you up on the long arm, on the long arm mount. But for now, we're going to go off the mount. And I'm just going to kind of put you to the side of me. So that way you can see the shadowing of what I'm doing. The color thread I'm using is celery, so technically you'll be able to see it whether I have it on the mount or not. You should be able to see the thread. And I have it advanced, so you can't really see what I'm doing. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing, stitching it out. So I'm putting my arthritis gloves on first, and then we'll get going. And then I'll tell you in advance. I am quilting at 10 stitches per inch. I just like it. A lot of quilters stitch at 12 stitches per inch when they're ruler working and stuff. But I'm mixing ruler work with free motion, sort of. So I prefer 10 stitches per inch. I just think it looks clean. To me, it looks clean. So, all right. I can't see this while I'm on, so this is just going to get turned off, and Scott will ask me questions as you guys have questions. If you're curious, I'll show you some other stuff while I'm here, what rulers I'm working with, and so on and so forth. So let me try to get this without hurting you guys into a position where you can see without anything getting wiggly wobbly. Right about there. I don't want the mount in the way, but I want you to see where I'm guiding myself. All right, so this is the maple leaf quilt. You've seen me piece it. I am doing the borders separately. I did cross hatching across the way top, and I started to go down the side, but I don't have a big enough throat space to go down this way. So when I get to the bottom, I'll do my cross hatching back up that way because it makes it easier for holding the ruler. I am using, for this block right here, the maple leaf block, I am using my Piece and Quilt Natalia Bana ruler, the 4-in-1. This is a very handy ruler. You can do lots of things with it. And then further down, if I get that far, I'm also using another little 4-in-1 ruler that I bought when I got my machine. It was like a little add-on. And then when I do my cross-hatching, which you probably won't get to see, but I'm using my Handy Gadgets HQ straight edge ruler. It used to have a pop socket, but it was a cheap pop socket, and it just broke right off. So there's that. Can I have a cold water, please?
Yes.
And then always, always near me is a seam ripper. This one has the erase edge, so I can get those stitches out. I keep it near me because I know I'm going to eventually need to use it. All right, here we go. Thank you. I need a sip of water before I start. So the first thing I'm doing is stitching all the way around the perimeter of the whole entire block. I'm not doing any stitching in the cream color at all. I'm just stitching the edges around it, but I'm not stitching in the sashing. I got to take a break from having too much stitching. Oops, trying to tie my stitches off. What? The quilting rulers are 1/4 inch thick. They're purposely that big so that they fit next to this. When this starts jumping up and down, do not use your cutting rulers for this because they will get stuck up underneath this foot like that, and then you'll break a needle. And even then, with the ruler foot, if you're in a certain position, you're going to go like this accidentally off your ruler base. So be careful that you're holding it firm on the ruler base and not away from it because you can get it stuck under, which I did the other day. I'm not very good at stitching the ditch. I try my hardest, but Scott bought my gloves. They're called Copper Fit Ice. Yeah, you bought these for me.
Oh, okay. Well, then I did good.
Yeah. So I stitch in the ditch kind of slowly like, because I'm trying to stay in the ditch, because like I said, I'm not very good at it. I have a dark thread right here, and it bothers me when they're there. So I actually have a crochet needle, the smallest one you can possibly get. I don't even know if you can tell. It's the smallest ever crochet needle, and it literally just pops into the fabric. I hook onto the thread that's in there, and I pull it out, just like this. Very easy fix. I try not to lose my miniature thing. I tried to make sure to get all the threads before, but they tend to just show up. And obviously you can't see too much at this angle, but like I said, I'm gonna do one block like this, and then I'll do one block on the mount. All right, so I stitched all the way around. Now I'm going to come back because I'm going to stay in the ditch. And yes, I've stitched in the ditch like 500 times. Sometimes I try not to go in the ditch more than 3 times. That's just like a general rule for me, because then it gets too thick right there. But 1 time is fine. So I'm going to go right to here, and then I'm going to stitch over, and I'm going to fill this white block in with a nice, lovely swirl. I'm also going to clip away my starter thread. I do not tie off. I don't tie the threads and bury them. I actually just back stitch, like, well, there's no back stitching on here, but I take a stitch back and forth really slowly, like, and then, you know, pull the thread up, take the stitch back and forth, and then tie it off, and then start stitching. I usually don't have a problem with it. All right, so I'm going to make a swirl right here. And it comes to about right here. Stitch up, kind of finish it off. Stitch over to about right here, finish it off. Down to about here, finish it off. Over to here, and I kind of just make it a full round circle. If it doesn't turn out that way, then oh well. Move up, and now I'm going to go down this right here, and then I'm going to do another spiral here, here, and then one will go here and here. And my spirals are coming from the outside, and they're going in towards the block. So when I come on these outer ones, I'll go in and then out towards the center. I'm trying to keep that way through the whole entire thing. Stitching in the ditch. In the ditch. So my spiral is just going to come right here. And if I have to stop, I do. And then I just backtrack in the ditch, equally space it. In the ditch, equally space it. I'm just echoing it out. Back in the ditch. Right here, equally spacing. On to the next. So you can see I went back twice, you know, in some parts of the ditch, which is fine by me. So again, in. And I'm doing blunt circles, not pointed. I'm going to come down to here. I'm doing a spiral that comes in on both sides of the stem, so it's going to come in towards the stem. And I'll stitch in the ditch that I haven't pre-stitched in yet. I'll stitch on the way out in the ditch. So, come this way. I kind of put a little bump right there. Down, down. Do the whole ditch. And over the stem to this side of it. Come down. I'm going to do my spirals coming in towards. Equal spacing. So now I'm going to stitch that ditch to the bottom. Come back up, do my equal spacing. Sometimes I have to add that little extra. This one I don't need to because it's not very bland. So I'm going to stitch to this corner. And I could have stitched around the whole entire block last, but I do it first. So in towards the block. And I'm trying to stay equal, but this one did not come out very nice. What? How do I quilt the Hunter Star? Whatever I want on it. There's no specific. You can do whatever you want on it. So like you can see, I did backwards of my equal spacing. I just went the opposite direction. So I'm going to come down. I'm literally going backwards with my spacing. And then I'm going to come up to here and start the next block. So you can see I'm making my way around. They're not perfect by no means. Okay, and now I'm back to my starting point. I'm just going to go back and forth in the ditch real quick. And then tie it off, because that's stitched down. So let's take the shadow away so you can see. So there's that part. So you can see all my swirls come in. So this one's a little funky, but I'm not going to pick that out. That's just not going to bother me. These ones in the bigger square just go different directions. I either go in or I go out. But all these come in towards the center. Now to do the center of the leaf. So I'm just going to put you back right here. And you can see how I flip and move the ruler around. I'm going to start right here at this point. Everything's stitched already around all of it, so I don't have to worry about any of that. Now I'm just making a little motif by going around this 4 times and then a center. So you can see I just tied off. I slightly move the machine back and forth. I'm going to use the curved edge, and I'm going to line it a 1/4 inch away from the corner. I'm going to stop in that corner, and then I'm going to go all the way around the whole entire perimeter, not on the insides, just the perimeter of my maple leaf. So I'm matching to all the points like this, and then I go this way. So you can see I do flip the ruler around pretty easily. But my hand grips it with my glove on it, which is a good thing. But this one's pretty easy to move around. Again, it's the 4-in-1 Natalia Bonner ruler. I like this one. This one was a must-have for a ruler. So now I'm going to come back to the center again. Now I'm going to stay in the center down here, and I'm going to come 1/4 inch away from every single point that I just made. So I'm lining the ruler up at the end on that point, but I'm going to stay in the center when I come from the center. Everything else will be 1/4 inch away. And I'm going to go around 4 times like this, giving some definition to the block. And none of these are perfect, but I'm not perfect. But they're all similar, which is what matters. And I did not pre-plan this design. I just started stitching and said, oh, that looks nice, and did everything like this. So now, again, I'm coming only towards the center. This one's not 1/4 inch away. Right there. Now I'm going to go again, 1/4 inch away again. Sometimes they're not fully 1/4 inch, and that's okay. Again, I'm coming to the middle, not 1/4 inch away. Okay, I'm going to go around one more time. And the beeping is just me going too fast. Yeah, I have a problem with going too fast. Bad habit. All right, I'm going to come back to that center. And now one more design. I'm going to go from the 2 points out here. There's 2 points here and here, and then the center. So I'm literally going to make a curve that goes to here, about 1/4 inch away. Then I'm going to make a curve that goes to up here and stop about 1/4 inch away. Then I'm going to come one more curve right here. And one more curve back to the center. And I'm going to tie it off with some back and forth stitches. And there is my maple leaf that looks like a maple leaf.
It looks like a maple.
So you can see I echoed around it 4 times, and then I just added that center piece. So there's what I'm doing. I'm literally doing that to all these blocks. When we get down, there's 2 more in front of it, but there's the 9 patch blocks, which are right here. I'm doing something different, and I always have to pre-stitch these 3 loops in that because I can't fit a ruler between here and here, so I have to pre-stitch it when it's down here because it doesn't fit in my throat space. All right, so let's put you on the mount now for a little bit. And then, so the camera's going to move, and it's going to do a quick flip upside down. And it'll change the whole orientation. Sorry for that sound. I'm trying not to make you dizzy, so I'm blocking the camera. Come on, open up enough. I have a screw-on mount, not a pull-tight one like I used to. Okay, let me grab a stabilizing cloth real quick. We're going to also put this about right here. Sorry for that sound. Come on. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stop that shaking. This is not, there we go, right there. Perfect. Ta-da! All right, moving on to the next. So it doesn't really matter where I start, I just start. Oh, and the cornerstones get stitched too, but you're probably not going to see that because I'm just doing a little thing around them. So here we go, in the ditch. I have a little thread there, but I'm not going to worry about that little tiny one. So you can see right here, that's what I did in the cornerstones. I just did a little stitch around them. Oops, and I came out of the ditch. It's not horrible, I'm going to leave it. I'm really bad about stitching the ditch. I do the whole going slow thing and I still just can't stay in the ditch. I adjust the ruler and everything and I just can't get it to be nice. All right, so I'm gonna come back over here and I'm gonna start with these. So again, I'm going in towards the center with my curve. Like this. I'm gonna come down and I'm pretty sure my equal spacing is about right here and right here. Like that. I'm gonna go right there. Right here. And one more right there. Stitch the rest of that ditch. Come across. Go in towards the block. Just a little bit. There. Come back down this way. Do it right there. Right there. And the ditch. And up to the next. So again, I'm going in towards the center. Sometimes it's like right there on the edge and sometimes it's not. My equal spacing will be about right there, and right there. Might as well. All right, now I'm going to go to the next one, in towards the block. We're just going to do that this side first. Hit that point. Stitch in or next to the ditch. I'm really sloppy with that. Down, back up. Sometimes you can't even see my stitching, it's in the ditch so good. And then other times you can see that's the fabric, but right there, It's literally some stitching. Like, yeah. So if that one I went in, this one I'm going to go this way with. All right, down to the next. Again, in towards my block. Oops, I did not mean to hit that. Oops, and that was too wide, but I'm going to leave it. Why? Because, you know what? I'm going to leave it. There was never anything that said that there's a perfect science to this. This one has quite a gap, so I'm going to add that little thing. Let's go down this way. Oh, and we're out of bobbin. Can't go forever. All right, let me put a bobbin in real quick. All right, so what I do is I go back a few stitches to make sure that these previous ones that ran out of bobbin don't come out. I literally go exactly on it. And if you have to grab your hands right here to stabilize yourself with the needle over it, I just take back stitch, forward stitch, and then forward after I've tacked it like 3 times. And then go this way. And then, oops, that is totally going to get unstitched. That I really went. Need to go up and stick it right there. And I'm going to pluck this out real quick because this is totally nowhere near the ditch. Just need to get myself a tail to pull on. Oh, broke my tail. And this is already tacked down, so those stitches aren't going to come out. When I come to here, it's going to be fine. I pre-wind as I go. Typically, I buy 2 of the same color thread spools so that I have one for winding bobbins and one for not, but I do keep a whole ton of bobbins pre-wound in my little bobbin cases. There, see?
Well,
now it's,
yeah,
but I still wind a bunch ahead of time because big quilts like this, I need like 8 bobbins. Because I don't wind my bobbins totally full because this machine does not do good with a totally full bobbin. It likes it. Let me show you. Let me grab one. Some bobbin winders, you can roll it all the way to the edge. I do not. I have it set to where it rolls mostly to the edge. And I do that on purpose because the spring inside the bobbin case, sometimes these will loosen in there like this. They'll get loose when it's just like sitting or you're doing little bits of stitches. And then when it loosens, it goes behind this like that. When it's a freshly full bobbin, it'll go behind it and it'll get stuck and then they'll tangle up. So I never, ever since I've gotten this machine, I never fill a bobbin as full as it's supposed to be. I always just go to about right there. So it's about 1/8 of an inch from the edge. So that's why I use more bobbins. But when I do long arm quilting for others, I don't actually charge for bobbins. That's all included thread charge. There's no thread charge. It's all included with your quilting.
Some places do charge it for that.
But we've realized a lot of places actually charge a thread charge and a bobbin charge and so on and so forth. So I don't do that. My price actually includes. All right, so again, I'm stitching 1/4 inch away, but always from this center, not 1/4 inch away each other time, only from those edges. To the point. To the point. Corner. Oops. Sometimes I start off before pressing the darn button. I try to go. So again, I'm going to go around it again, but this time I'm lining the edge of the ruler up with the stitch line and stopping with my foot against the edge of that stitch line. It's not a, like I said, it's not a perfect science. They're never exact, but that's what makes the quilting unique, is that there's some differences in all of this. It's not exactly the same. So I'm going to go again. This is round 3. Now for round 4. Like I said, it's not perfect, but finished is better than perfect. If I just slowed down, I think my custom quilting would be so much better, but I don't know how to do anything slow. All right, I went around 4 times. Now I'm going to go to the points right here on the sides and then that top point. So I'm going about 1/4 inch away from that point. I turn the whole thing, go up to there, whole thing. I'm going to this one down here. Oh, I went to the wrong one. Hold on, gotta pick that out. Which is perfectly fine because it comes undone. See why I keep the seam ripper next to me? Because I know I'm gonna need it.
Need help?
No. It's just one straight line, well, curved line, but. Notice I didn't disconnect it fully, I left it connected. So technically the thread is still connected right there. I'm literally just gonna do a couple, pull the bobbin back up. Pull all that nice and tight, just do a couple little back and forth stitches. Pull that thread out of the way. Use the little eraser. Going for this corner. Right there, see? And then back to the center. And then I'll do a couple little stitches. Sorry. Excuse me. And this block is now done. So there's another block done. Let's go to the next. We're almost to that 9 patch. Well, they're all 9 patches, but you know what I mean. Right? So this time, this is how much longer it takes when I start and stop. We're going to start and stop. Instead of going all the way around the block, I'm going to do this one. I'm going in towards with my spirals. I still have to stitch in the ditch either way, but we're going to stitch in the full ditch last.
Go back into the sashing after you do a whole row?
Do I what?
Go back into the sashing?
I'm not doing anything in the sashing for this quilt. I went out right here of range. See that? I'll pluck that out. It's literally like 2 stitches. This is, I'm telling you, I am very real, but I do need to practice more custom because I'm not used to like landing in a certain spot because I do edge to edge so much. My brain is edge to edge computer, not custom computer. But I do a lot of custom for people. I just not enough. All right.
What about your borders?
Oh, I can't do that till I go back up.
Okay, maybe that's what she's talking about. Sashing.
Oh, yeah.
You can do the sides.
The borders will get done when I, because they're getting, there's a word for it, crosshatched. All right. There's going to be one right there, and one right there.
Do you use the rulers your brother?
What? Can I use the rulers on my Juki? Yeah, if you have a ruler foot, then yes, you can use these rulers. Problem is these rulers, this one may not be, this smaller one, but this one is too big for the throat space in most machines. It's too big for my Juki, the TL2010Q. So this would not even work for that. A lot of the long arm rulers would not work because of the throat space in most machines. But as long as you have a ruler foot, they do make rulers. Let me grab one out. Right here somewhere. So I have every single one of these. These are all the Angela Walters rulers. This is what they look like, but the rulers are in the box. But I have every single one of these. And these work with sit down. All these. So you can see these are the ones that work with sit down. They're basically throat spaceable, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I have all of these rulers. Every one of them. I just don't use them very often because they're in the ruler box, and I don't ruler work very often. But those all work with sit down machines because they're the size. Oops. Finish that area. All right, this one will come in. Not in the ditch again. I'm gonna leave it though because I'm tired of picking. Slow down, Tiffany, slow down. Ay, ay, ay. I told you, I'm so bad. There's a really dark thread right there. Just gonna poke my crochet hook in here. It's hard with the ruler base right there. That one's connected to a seam. Anyways, and then my hair. Get my hair off of there. My hair is lovely quilted into every single quilt I make, let me tell you. All right, I'm gonna go in towards. Oh, look at that. I was able to go all the way around that one. And have one right there, and down, and then there'll be one right here. One right there, and right there, and right there. I never said this is going to be perfect. And again, these ones go in towards the center. My hair again. Why is my hair always everywhere? Yet it's tied up. Okay, I'm really sloppy right there, but I'm gonna leave it because if I just go sloppy on this side, everything will match right up. Let's put another one right there. One right there. Here. And one there. Now, finish off by going all the way around. One more time to make sure, for good measure, that I got in the ditch. Now we're going to come to the center and do that part. Oops. Seriously. Sometimes, like the way the seam is pressed also affects stitching in the ditch. Do not stitch in the ditch if the seams are pressed open though, but sometimes it catches that lip and it'll pull my foot right up onto the top part of the ditch. But our goal is to stay, so this seam is pressed in towards the dark and it hit the lip on the light side. So there must be something flipped right here or turned underneath there. And sometimes that catches it. I've realized that over the years that happens. Come on. Sometimes they're so close to the edge, but it will bother me if I don't get it out. You know, just like this stitch right here, that's going to bother me too, but I'll get that before I advance the quilt. All right, now I'm going to do my center design. I'm going to go around 4 times. Oop. What are what? Similar machines. The Handy Quilter machines are similar to this. It's the same company that makes them. So, yeah, they just cost a little bit more. The Handy Quilter Capri is the same exact as this 18-inch machine. Then the Handy Quilter Avante is the 20-inch, and then the 22-inch or 24-inch, I think is next, is the Forte. That's the one I really, really wanted, but we didn't get it because it was way out of our price range, even the floor model from the shop. But the Handy Quilter Capri is the same. But then they also have the Handy Quilter Moxie, which is a smaller 14-inch. So if you have a smaller budget and not a lot of space, then those kind of machines would work. But just remember, your throat space isn't really what it is. So the distance between my needle and the bar back here, I'm not going to move the camera, but the needle to the bar is, that is supposed to be 18 inches, but it's not. It's actually 16 inches from this bar to the needle. When I pull all the way out, it's only 16 inches because I'm losing 2 inches from this bar. The leveling bar is in the way. So no matter what kind of frame you have or what kind of machine, whether this is the bar that rolls up your fabric or the upper bar like mine rolls it into the throat space, not on the floor of it. My previous frame rolled to this bar, the floor of it, sat on the bed of the machine itself. But you're going to lose space. So as you roll the quilt, it gets thicker and thicker on the bar, which gives you less and less and less room on the way. So just remember, with the 14-inch machines, I mean, if that's the space you have and you're comfortable with it and you're used to it, or you have computerized on it, which is actually cheaper to have computerized with it, cheaper than my machine costs without computerized, then you're good. But if you need the space because you're working on blocks that are always 15-inch blocks or bigger, and some of them are on point, and you want to be able to do it all, then you want a bigger machine. Mine's 18. I don't need, I mean, I would love to have bigger, but the reach space for my arms and my eyes to see, to stand comfortably without bending my neck like crazy, 18 inches is perfect for me. I have a short arm span because I'm short. But if you have, say you're 5'8", you know, you have a longer arm span, then yeah, go ahead with the Amara, you know, or the Forte, because you'll be able to see it. Or you can get, you know, a Gamel, or, you know, they make Gamel machines. They make Janome, they have long arms. Baby Lock has long arms. I'm trying to think of all the other companies that have long arms. There's so many of them. But yeah, there's so many companies. QuiltCon. QuiltCon is this week, and there's going to be a bunch of booths there if you're going, and lots of long arm companies set up, and you can play with all the different kinds of long arms. And that's the best way to make a decision when buying a long arm, is to play with them. If you have a local store, go check out and see what they have. Most stores have at least one of each model that they sell. So if it's a Handy Quilter dealer, they should have one of each Handy Quilter model that they sell set up. Mine does, and mine, my local shop. They also teach long arm quilting computerized classes. So depending on your shop, your local shop, you could see what they have. I don't know where exact Gamble dealers are or any of those other long arm companies. I don't know what states or who deals them, if it's the company itself or, or you just order online. The AccuQuilt was online. There was nowhere for me to play with those machines when Scott and I were looking for long arms. We were looking into AccuQuilt, but there's nowhere to play with them. So other than going to the trade shows, the quilt shows, it's the only place. And then you got to hope that that show actually has that machine set up. All right, so I went around 4 times. Now I'm going to do to this point, to the top point, to this side, there, and back to the center. Stitch out and be done. All right. Now on to the other block so that you can see how I'm stitching that. So here's a 9-patch block. I'm tying them all together by doing pretty much the same stuff. Again, I had to pre-stitch this line due to the fact that I had to pre-stitch that line. So I'm going to drop my needle down, and then I'm going to stitch in a ditch around the whole entire block first. Or attempt to stitch in the ditch, There we go. I went super slow. I'm still not in the ditch perfectly, even going slow. I just think it's me. I'm not... I do better going fast. I'm not meant to be a stitch in the ditcher. But I do it anyway. See, look at that. I'm going slow, and look, I'm still out of the ditch. Let's just go fast and be done with it. Imagine if this was a deeper throat space. I'm reaching with my eyeballs to look up here so that I can see that. If my machine was any bigger, I would be struggling right there. Oh, let's get rid of this tail first. All right, from here, I'm going to switch rulers now to this one. It's a little 4-in-1, and I'm going to bump around. That's how I got this 3 bumps. I'm lining up right here and just going like this. This one's perfect for 5-inch squares that finish. These are 4.5. It fits perfectly. Problem is my other side of it is not the same curve. It's a totally different curve. So I actually have to like finagle this end right here. What? The small squares just get a little curve in them, the cornerstones. So I'm literally bumping around the whole entire thing. Oh yeah, I forgot. I got to go this way now because I did those already. So now I need to come down right here and go this way. And now I'm touching these guys right here. It's touching the previous line, creating a flower. So I'm going to line this up and it touches that previous line, creating a flower. You'll be able to see it right here. So it touches and it creates a flower. While I'm right here, I'm going to stop. I'm going to do my center swirl. Just use my little stitch in the ditch part of this ruler. Now I'm going to go around the whole entire thing. Oh, I've got another line right there. I'm going to try to end back down here. Right there. And then we'll switch the ruler now that I've done that. Back to this. And if it looks like I'm moving the ruler as I go, I actually am. I'm adjusting it so that I land at that point. I'm not always perfect at it, but I'm adjusting it so that I can land on it. Notice I left myself an out. Which means I can continuously sew this until the very end, which is right here. So I adjusted that just now, and there we go. So I'm going to do a quick little stitch in that corner, and there it is. So there's that block. All right, we got to do one more block. Yep. All right, so I'm going to finish with this block right here, and then we'll be done because I need to eat and all that kind of stuff. So, yep, hub and make sure I eat and all those things. Okay, so switching back to my 4-in-1 ruler, I'm just going to come down to here. I'm going in towards. I'll backtrack it so that you can see how they line up. It looks really cool. One right there. One right there. Oops. I didn't mean to do that, but I'm not going to pluck that because I can't really see it. It landed in the green. I said I'm not perfect at this. A little bit more right there. Yeah, let's just finish this way, because I'll stitch in the ditch after on all the way around. Let's do this first, that way it's done. Actually, I just go right here. Right here. Alright, that one was a little funky, but I'm leaving it. You know what? I want a little curve right there. Out right there. Out right there. Out right there. So, oops. I'm going to come in towards the block, but I'm upside down because this one's upside down. Because they obviously all go in different directions. Oops. One about right here. One about right there. And one about right there. Like that. Stitch that whole ditch. Stitch the rest of this ditch. And that ditch. Alright. Again, these ones don't matter which way because they're all, you know. My spacing is not perfect. That's what makes this quilt so interesting, is because I'm not stitching perfectly and everything's just slightly off. Back up and finish those. Oops, right there. One will be about there, one will be about there, and about there. my way back to the center. This one's going to be a little challenging because my end, I'm not going to fit that ruler there, so I'm going to manually stitch that one. So if it ends up a little off, I can't do much about it because I can't fit the ruler. It's the only thing about smaller machines is some places you just can't get it right because of the space available. And or else you're just going to keep backtracking, you know, with the bars on your machine. You're going to keep rolling them back and forth. That's why I chose to do the cross hatching last after starting it, because I couldn't do the opposite direction without backtracking. I can fit that there. So I'm just going to guess this one. Just like that. It's not perfect, but close enough. Now I'm going to go around again. Oops, that was not supposed to happen. So I still can't fit the ruler there. See how wide that is? I can't control that. I'm just going to leave it though. It's my quilt. It's not somebody else's, so I don't really need to pick it out. Fit it yet? Nope. I wonder if this curve is about that. Oh, look at that. And one more time. Just get that reverse curve. That way it's somewhat normal. I should have just used that in the first place, but I didn't know that that was going to be about this curve size. Where am I at? Oh, right there. And one more stitch. And then we'll go out and all the way around the block. One more time to make sure that I got everything. Started on that other side, right there. All right, all done. So there's that block. Yeah, I'm going to show them real quick what it looks like when 4 blocks come together. All right, I'm going to pull this back real quick so that you can see what 4 blocks coming together looks like. So here's what 3 blocks coming together looks like. So you can see they all swirl in, creating this really cool design. And then this is just stitched around it. And then when they come together just at the leaves, they're always going opposite directions. See? So it creates this really cool look. They don't always land in the same exact spot. I try, but you know, it's not perfect. And then these are opposite because I'm, you know, whatever. Anyways, that's what it looks like. All right, let's put this off of here for a second. Let me lock my bar back up here. So I think that looks pretty cool for this quilt. Again, I'm not stitching in any of the sashing. I'm leaving that to just stick out because I think it looks cool. And then I'm cross hatching in the border, which you can't see because it's way, way, way up there. But I am tacking it down so that it stays nice and flat on the way. All right. Let's put you right here for a moment. So now you know why I don't always really ever do long arm quilting, because the camera shakes, it moves around, it's kind of sometimes dizzying at points, but you get the general idea of what I'm doing. There's no way to make it not shake. It's a long arm, it vibrates just like any machine. So, but this is what I'm doing on the maple leaf quilt. Obviously, when it's done, I will post pictures of what it looks like. This is just giving me practice. I'm playing with the rulers, trying to get the stitch in the ditch thing all, but I will probably never have that down because I go too fast.
What are you gonna do with the border?
The border's getting cross-hatched, which I'd show you, but it's way up under there. So, and then when I get to the bottom, I'm going to go up. So I'll have Scott on the end rolling the frame as I go up, you know, and I can do all the cross-hatching on the way back up because I don't have the throat space for the large ruler. Just show you real quick right here. So this ruler is the long Handy Gadgets one. This one reaches from side to side, but when I get to this top corner, I can only do 3 stitches within the, 4 stitches within the throat space. So I can't get very far. And then the back up, I'd rather go line up this way than trying to line up with my arm like this and the machine in front of it. This is a little bit more dangerous. So I'm going to go back up. But it's getting tacked down as I go, so it's fine. All right, guys. Any questions?
Take the stitches out of an area, do you have to go back over that area again?
If I pick the stitches out of the area, no, I don't have to go back over that area unless it was an area that I, like the swirl, if I had to pick it because it didn't come out right, then I would pick it and then I would restitch it, yes. But in the ditch and stuff like that, I don't. If it's coming out of the ditch accidentally, I don't because I already went around it again. It's tacked down. Nothing's going to come out. The only thing I have to do is on the back, I just go and pull any loose threads from the bobbin tails sometimes hang out because, I don't pull them fully every time. But this is what I'm doing. Any other questions? Like here's a stitch right here that just hangs there. Sometimes me and Scott will pull the quilt and check it along the way, and I see all these threads as we're going. So as I undo it, you know what I mean? Any other questions? All right. One more time, don't forget, I will be at QuiltCon, which is in Phoenix, Arizona. I will be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which are all the days that it runs. So that's like the 19th through the 20-something. Anyway, if you see me there, come up to me. Hi, Tiffany. And then tell me who you are. Because I can't always read your badge. But I don't know you. You know me. So just feel free to come right up to me. if I'm playing on long arm or looking at quilts or whatever the heck I'm doing, just come up to me. Don't be afraid. I am a normal person just like everyone else, and I like hugs. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go eat. I'm starving. I'm a starving girl. I need to eat. So, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Bye.